Hey guys, welcome to week 2 training. You made it through prep week, which is fantastic and so exciting. Hopefully you learned a lot of new stuff and you feel a little bit more comfortable and you can have a good grasp and a big picture of what the Faster Way program is all about. I'm really excited to start week 2 with you because week 2 is when we really dig in and big things happen. So I'm kind of going to go over some expectations for this week. So in prep week, we didn't really make it mandatory for you all to post your macros every day. So on those daily posts, I know that sometimes they're really lengthy, but they're so educational. So make sure you're reading those in the Facebook group and pay attention to those action items every day, so that way you're keeping up, you're engaging. The more engaged you are, the more successful you're going to be. So that's what we're there for. We're there to keep each other accountable. We're there to encourage each other, celebrate each other, give each other ideas if we're stuck. All of those good things that the community of women in the groups really provides each other. So make sure you're doing that. So for week 2, in week 1, prep week, it was not mandatory to post a screenshot of your macros every day. But in week 2, beginning week 2, we are going to post our macros every day. That helps me see your big picture, which I have been getting text messages and messages about macros, which is great. And I'm given some good feedback on that, and I'm totally fine with that. But that also can show other people kind of like it's encouraging and motivating to see when other people are hitting those protein goals or carb goals or whatever. And that can kind of facilitate and open the door for some communication and sharing maybe food ideas if you're struggling to get a macro group in. It just kind of really keeps the communication open and going. So just make sure that you are ready to post those macros. Every day a screenshot is great, and keep it on the post for the day. So every day there's a new post and it's labeled. So we'll have, week 2, day 1, week 2, day 2, etc. And you can keep up with it that way, and then just comment on that post so that it's all in the same post. That would be wonderful. So as we did last week, Mondays and Tuesdays are low carb days, low carb macro days. Wednesday through Sunday are regular macro days. And that is our carb cycle. It is strategically planned that way to give you the maximum fat loss and maximum metabolism support and hormone support. So Mondays and Tuesdays, we always do low carb days on those days. It's super duper important that you hit your macros that day on those days. It's important to hit your macros every day, but every day is not perfect. So I don't ask for perfection, but if we are super low multiple days in a row, then we need to revisit that macro and figure out like what our stumbling block is and how we can compensate for that and kind of pick up the pieces. So on those low carb days, we do, that's our carb cycle. And this is not, low carb is not meant to be long-term. Long-term low carb is very detrimental to our hormones. We want our hormones to function appropriately. So doing low carb day in and day out really fatigues our adrenals, our thyroid, lots of other key players there that help us sustain energy and function at our optimal best. So it's really important that we hit our macros. I'm going to explain what the macros are going to look like. You've probably already seen that in prep week, but I want to recap over it in just a minute. So again, we're focusing on our macronutrients, which are large nutrients, proteins, carbs, and fat. They all are important. They all have a role in our bodies. Protein is there. It is king. It's going to help you sustain muscle mass, build muscle mass, repair cells, make new cells. It's going to promote satiety, keeping you full. It's going to promote, like I said, muscle growth, muscle retention, and us women, as we age, we lose our muscle mass every year. So it's really important that we get enough protein in so that we can compensate for that muscle loss, muscle mass loss, and that we're building muscle instead of losing. So that helps with all kinds of things. It helps fight osteoporosis. We want to keep that bone density, and part of the way that we do that is building muscle mass. It helps with our posture. It helps with so much. So we really want to make sure we're getting protein in, and protein is a huge obstacle for many women. So we want to make sure that if we're struggling in that department, you reach out and we can get ideas. And that's another important reason why we can, why sharing recipes, ideas, oh, I really enjoyed this protein snack, or this protein, this food really gave me a good source of protein that I wasn't expecting, So that's where that community can come into play as well. Carbs are our preferred energy source. It is really important to have some carbs in our diet because we want to, again, support those adrenals, our thyroid, all kinds of hormones, and it helps promote metabolism, and it repairs our metabolism. If we have been low carb in the past, it really, consuming them on the correct days paired with the correct exercise, it can really improve your metabolism. Fats, they buffer our digestion. They slow things down, help keep us full. Also, they're super yummy. And so they keep us content, and it's good for our brain. All kinds of things. It helps us digest and absorb certain nutrients better that we wouldn't if we didn't have appropriate amount of fat in our diet. On low carb days, we do compensate for that lack of carbs by increasing our fats on that day. So on Mondays and Tuesdays, if you look on your app and you look at your macro goals for those 2 days, you will see that protein stays the same every single day. Since protein stays the same every single day, it's super important for us to meet that macro for sure. Also, on low carb days in particular, if you're not hitting that fat goal too, then you're gonna not feel great. We're kind of detoxing off those carbs for those 2 days, and so sometimes you can get a headache. I've gotten a headache a couple of times, but usually if I'm working out, and let me tell you, on those low carb days in particular, it's really important for me to put a pinch of Himalayan salt in my water in the morning. Not enough to make it salty, but I have like one of the grinders, the Himalayan salt grinders from Sam's Club. I'll do a few grinds into my big water and stir it up. I don't even taste it in there, but it gives you those electrolytes to kind of help get you through that low carb slump that you're going to go through. But I feel amazing on low carb days now, especially because of doing that Himalayan salt trick. So you may try that. We do pair high intensity interval training, HIIT training, on those 2 low carb days on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's so amazing. The effects of losing fat during those 2 days is insane. Actually, after those high intensity interval training sessions, you are still burning fat 24 hours later. 24 hours. That's crazy to me. So it's really important. If you were not going to work out, even if you have to modify it first, it's a game changer for sure. So try to pencil it in, try to make it happen, try to make it work. I know not all our schedules, are flexible, but try your best to do that. And then Wednesday through Sunday, we do regular macro days. So that's when we incorporate those carbs back in. That's when we do our strength training. So it's really vital and important for you to get those carbs in, so that way you have adequate energy to get through those strength training exercises the rest of the week. Another note is that you, when you filled out your new client form, you put on there how much you intended to exercise. There are people who get results from faster. I mean, everybody gets results from Faster Way just by following the nutrition plan. Nutrition is king. I mean, it is going to give you the results, but the body composition just really ramps up whenever you incorporate the exercises with it. So, you know, I would try your best to abide by at least what you told me that you were going to do on that new client assessment, because that is what I built your macros around. So if you said that you were going to do 5 exercises a week, 5 workout videos a week, and then you only do 2, well, then your macro goal is not going to be correct, because I built that into your plan. So really try to abide by what you've done. If you said that you were only going to do 2 days of exercise a week and then you end up doing 5, I also need to know that as well, because that again is what your macro goals were built around, is what you told me on that new client assessment. So that's super important. Make sure you're tracking your water, especially if you struggle with water intake. It's all built in there in your app, so just follow along. If you exceed your water goal, that's not a problem. I always exceed mine, so I drink a lot of water. I'm just one of those people that like always has to have a bunch of water every day, or I feel really thirsty, and I can't go to the bathroom, so that helps me there too. So all in all, that is the plan for the week, and we are going to hit the ground running. And I do want you to tell me if you're exercising. I want you to tell me what you're struggling with. I want you to celebrate the things that you are doing well. Don't stress about hitting your macros perfectly this week. It takes time. It takes time to perfect this. I'm not perfect at it. There are days that I struggle and don't get all my macros in like I should. So it's just one of those things that you have to be patient. It's progress over perfection for sure. So just give yourself some grace. So the grace part of this program is essential because it's not going to be perfect. This whole program is about progress, not perfection. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can't do this, this is too hard, this is too much, I don't feel good, then bring it to me. Bring it to me. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you through those feelings, through those emotions. Our emotions and feelings are so temporary. So don't give in. Don't give up. Don't quit. You're here with me for 6 weeks. Everybody who's been through their 6 weeks has made progress if they have given it their best. Okay? Their best. And that doesn't mean that they did it perfect. I didn't do it perfect. My 6 weeks was not perfect. I fully enjoyed my treat days. Leg days are treat days. It's essential. If you are addicted to Cokes, if you are addicted to cookies, it is unrealistic to say you can never have a Coke or a cookie ever again in your entire life. It's not realistic. So if it's something that you really love and that you are missing, save it for treat day. Have it. Have the Coke. Have the cookie. Have whatever it is. I mean, okay, within reason. I love crumble cookies. I would not go on treat day and go eat an entire whole crumble cookie. I might have a quarter like I'm supposed to, or even a half. And whatever I was satisfied with, I guarantee you I would probably be satisfied with a quarter of it, because now I don't have those cravings. Like I haven't looked up the crumble menu. Like I used to look it up religiously on Sundays, and I haven't even looked up the crumble menu, and I can't even tell you how many Sundays. Like it doesn't tempt me. And it used to, really bad. And I'm going to tell you, today, it's Saturday for me, and it was leg day today, and you know what? We're going to probably have a treat tonight. I did not have a treat earlier, but I did make a healthier coffee. And it does have nut pods. I frothed it. So I have a little bit of my nut pod creamer in there. And it was a good little treat. But you know what? I may have that was still within my macros. So if it's something that I'm really feeling like having, then I do. If it's not really something that I need right then, then I don't. It's just, you go off of how your body feels. And, you know, if you're really, really craving something at the end of the week and it's treat day, then I would definitely say, go ahead, go for it. Another thing, so what if you have a special event? I know that we have birthdays coming up. We have a couple people with birthdays in this round, this section. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when it's your birthday? And you go out to dinner and somebody brings you a cake and, you know, have a piece of cake. Have it. It's memories over macros, okay? If it is a special event, if you have something that's a big event, something that is noteworthy in your life, then celebrate. You know, those memories are worth more than the macros. Don't get fixated. Don't get perfectionist on me. Don't overdo that, because then you can pick up tomorrow and you're going to want to pick back up tomorrow because you're going to feel better. I tell you, every single day that I have gone out of my macro range and like had a treat, let's say, I really haven't felt great from them. And that's what I'm like, the next day I'm like, that wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it because it didn't feel good. But you have to figure that out on your own. And I'm not saying every treat I've had along the way has made me feel that way, but you know, for the most part, like if I've had something that I really haven't, that I know that isn't really that great for me, it hasn't made me feel wonderful. So it's kind of just not, I feel so good when I follow the plan. Another thing, you're gonna be eating food. So many of us are deprivation focused and we're gonna be eating food. So you are gonna have to get over it. You are gonna have to eat. I'm just kind of laying it out there for you. You're gonna have to put your big girl and big boy panties on and you're gonna have to eat food. And you are going to have to hit that protein goal, and you are going to have to hit it. You're going to have to hit those carb goals. You cannot demonize food anymore. You cannot demonize a macronutrient category. Carbs are not bad for you. They're good for you. Fats are not bad for you. They're good for you. Protein, not bad for you. Good for you. So you're going to have to rewire your brain a little, and you're going to have to be patient, and you're going to have to be patient with me because I'm going to talk you off that ledge, and I'm going to tell you, no, girl, no, protein is good for you. You need it. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get that in. And that's why I try to be so creative. I try to help you. If you know, when that coffee fix for a lot of people, I'm putting my chef's hat on and I'm making creamers and I'm testing things with blood glucose monitors because I care that you don't quit this because you deserve it. You deserve it. And you owe it to yourself to follow through with these 6 weeks and to stay with me, stay the course, eat your food. And if you have a struggle, to come to me, come to the group, let's get through it together. Let's go through those temporary feelings and emotions and let them pass, and you're going to do great. So, you know, I would not lead you astray. Stay with me. Trust the program. I promise you, I did not trust it. I did not trust it at first. I've said that over and over again. I said, I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to gain weight at the end of this, and I don't believe it, and I'm going to step on that scale because my mind and my brain was like, scale, wait. It is so, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I'm not held hostage to that scale anymore. It's like, I feel so liberated, like a bird out of a cage, freed from the bondage of the scale. You are going to feel that too. You just have to stick with me. You can do it. You can do hard things. You can get up and work out. You can meal prep. I will say this. There are things that I've really kind of mentally done. Like I love low carb days because I get to have peanut butter. I love peanut butter, and I get to have it because it's just pretty high in fat, you know, and not that I don't have it on my regular macro days, but like I reserve it as that treat. And I've built in these ways that there's things that I've really like attached to that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is super delicious, and I would never have let myself have before. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, peanut butter is delicious and I get to have it every low carb day. And it's like, you just have to rewire your brain and like really figure out, okay, these are things I love anyway. Okay, so when can I have it? And just kind of strategize, make it a puzzle. It was a puzzle for me. And I'm like, my brain just works that way. And I'm like, I want to figure this out. So, make it a game for yourself. It does get frustrating some days. I'm not going to say I never got frustrated. I'm not going to say there weren't days that I weren't. The first few weeks of low carb, I'm going to tell you, I was like, I don't even know what to freaking eat. I have no idea what to eat. Yes, I do. I know what to eat. It's a mental block. If you don't know what to eat, okay, take a breather, text me, message me, get on the group, say, I don't know what to eat. I don't know how to eat today, and we'll figure it out together, okay? So week 2, let's hit the ground running. Week 2, let's stay positive. If you're feeling negative, reach out to me. Temporary emotions, temporary feelings, long-term solutions, okay? We can do it. Get ready for low carb. Get ready, strategize, get that Himalayan salt ready for some electrolytes. Buckle up, get ready for that HIIT training. It's not easy. It's not easy for me. I've been working out consistently for almost 2 years, and they are tough. But oh gosh, tough in a good way. So I feel great afterward. I can tell my body is just fat burning. Like you can just feel it. It's like I don't know, somebody's just lit a fire inside your body and you're just burning fat. So it's a great feeling. And I want you to feel that way too. Be patient. Week 2's tough because you're trying to be perfect and you're not going to be. So remember, if you have a big life event coming up, don't prioritize your macros over that memory. You can pick up with your macros the next day. Don't, if somebody is getting you a treat for your birthday, eat the treat within reason, if that's what you're comfortable with, because I don't want you to feel deprived or like you didn't get to live in the moment with that memory. Then the next day, just pick up where you left off. Or if you are at a social event and somebody's trying to feed you, I come across this a lot. Social events are hard because people bring things and they want you to taste it. They want you to try it. All you have to say is, you know what? I'm not eating gluten right now because I'm kind of doing this challenge and it's like really exciting and I can't wait to see my results. Like just show them, give them a real reason for why you're not partaking, and then don't do it if you don't want to. You don't have to eat the queso. You don't have to eat the bread or whatever it is that somebody has brought just because they want you to have it. You can just tell them how excited you are and you can't wait to see your results. And it's like you feel so good not eating these things or whatever it is. Use it as an opportunity to share and spread the light because we need that, and don't frame it in a negative way because it's not a negative thing. Like I get the opportunity to do this challenge and like see if this is how awesome this is going to be for me. And then, then that might reframe somebody else's thought process and say, gosh, I want to do what she's doing, like it really kind of changes the mentality. So just stay positive if you can. If you're not positive, reach out. And let's knock this out of the park, y'all. Week 2, here we come.